This is the OTB Network.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. We will start things out down in South Florida, where the weather this winter has been terrific until last week, and unfortunately we ended up off the turf for the running of the Pan American Handicap. It was scheduled to go at 1.5 miles on the turf course, ended up going at 1.25 miles on the muddy or the sloppy main track. We will head down to Gulfstream now and Saturday's Pan American.
In this time, they're all in line. They're racing in the Pan American. And it's Precious Passion and Buddy's Humor out of the gate, 1-2. These two speed off from the others. And then comes Sligovitz on the inside, Quasi Cobra, and South Handyman as Precious Passion will do his running on the lead, his normal style. He's in front by 1.5 lengths in the race to the first turn. And Buddy's Humor sits just off of him second. Quasi Cobra third as they go into the turn. He's now 4.5 lengths behind Precious Passion. Right on his inside is Sligovitz. And South Handyman is the trailer, 5.5 lengths off the lead. The first quarter was 23-1. Precious Passion and Elvis Trujillo lead the way to the backstretch. They're in front by 4.5 lengths over Buddy's Humor. And then it's Sligovitz third to the inside of Quasi Cobra, and South Handyman is last. Precious Passion out there on the lead by 5 lengths. It worked on the turf last time. He'll try it again in the Pan American with this front-running style, a 47.5 mile, and it's Precious Passion and Elvis Trujillo clear. Buddy's Humor edging up closer now. He's only 2 lengths behind as they head to the half-mile pole. Then Sligovitz, Quasi Cobra to the outside, and South Handyman. 3/4 in 1, 12-1. And it's Precious Passion on top as they go into the far turn. He's got 1.5 lengths lead. Buddy's Humor is second and closing in. Sligovitz third at the rail. He's 2 lengths off the lead. Quasi Cobra follows in fourth as they make their way to the quarter pole. Precious Passion, Buddy's Humor moving up alongside now. Sligovitz is 2 lengths behind them as they come to the top of the stretch. It's Buddy's Humor on the outside who has taken the lead from Precious Passion. Buddy's Humor is now in front. Precious Passion tries to fight back on the inside. It's Buddy's Humor down to the 16th pole clear, though. Precious Passion on the inside, second and fighting all the way to the finish. Buddy's Humor wins the Pan American. Precious Passion never gave up. He was second best. Then Sligovitz and South Handyman.
Buddy's Humor getting the victory. His first try over a wet racetrack. He has been primarily a turf horse, and quite a solid one at that, but the pedigree is there to go on the dirt and on a wet track particularly. He shows his usual good speed, wins by 3/4 length over Precious Passion, who of course has earned his reputation as a front-running rooter on the turf. He ran well under the conditions here. Sligovitz completes the order of the top 3. The winner, Buddy's Humor, is a bay son of Distorted Humor from Hello Barbara Sue by DeHare. Bred in Kentucky by John Oxley and owned by Eli Lomita, trained by Bruce Levine and ridden to victory by Jose Lescano. Buddy's Humor covers the 1.25 miles on the sealed slop in 2:02.64. We'll head back to Gulfstream Park now. The Sunday Stakes featured the Orchid Stakes, for fillies and mares. This one did remain on the turf by Sunday afternoon. The turf course was labeled good.
They're racing in the Orchid. And Julia Tuttle came out smoothly from that inside post, and she's going to sprint away early. Julia Tuttle quickly opening up 3 lengths on Criticism in the first 1/8 mile. Laguna Plateada is third early. Then Dress Rehearsal to the outside. Favorite Fantasy at the rail. And Lamentation will sit last in the initial stages. So Julia Tuttle and Elvis Trujillo on a front-running mission here in the race to the first turn. They've got a long way to go, and they've got a 6-length lead here. Criticism is second by 1.5 lengths. Then it's Dress Rehearsal third to the outside. Laguna Plateada is down at the rail. And in the back of the field early are Lamentation and Favorite Fantasy. They're right next to each other. And those 5 horses are all tightly packed, but they're way behind Julia Tuttle. Julia Tuttle's got about a 9-length lead here and ran a half in 46 4/5 seconds. Julia Tuttle with another lap to go in a race of her own early on here. Elvis Trujillo's going to try to settle her down. She's got a 7-length lead here over Criticism in second. Then Dress Rehearsal third to the outside. Laguna Plateada at the rail. Break of another 2 lengths back. And then it's Lamentation who's sitting in 5th position here with 1 horse beaten, and that's Favorite Fantasy. Julia Tuttle ran 3/4 in 1:11-1 and moves on to the backstretch. Now it's a 4-length lead. Criticism is getting closer with each and every stride. Dress Rehearsal is next to the outside, and they're catching up to Julia Tuttle now. Julia Tuttle's had enough. She's done her running on the lead. She's all done here. It's now Criticism who has taken the lead. Criticism in front as they move down the backstretch. A 3/4 length lead over Dress Rehearsal in second. Julia Tuttle back to third at the rail. Then Laguna Plateada in 4th, followed on the outside by Lamentation, and the trailer is Favorite Fantasy. They make their way around the far turn, and Criticism is the one to beat. Criticism, the favorite, in front by a length and a half. Then Dress Rehearsal second, Lamentation to the outside third. Favorite Fantasy circles up on the far outside, but it's Criticism off the turn in front. Edgar Prado and Criticism have a 2-length lead here. And then it's Dress Rehearsal trying to close in second. On the far outside, Favorite Fantasy runs late. Now, here's Dress Rehearsal, and Criticism has thrown in the towel. Dress Rehearsal and Kent DeSormo will go on to win the Orchid. It was Lamentation second and close for third between Criticism and Favorite Fantasy.
Little bit of an upset here, if you want to call a 2-1 victory. An upset as Dress Rehearsal turns the tables on Criticism after she ran second to that rival in the very one back in February. Matter of fact, Backseat Rhythm, who came out of that race finishing third that day, has come back to win as well. So that race certainly looking like a key event down at Gulfstream. Dress Rehearsal exits it to win. Lamentation, who was 5th that day, turns the tables here and runs second. Criticism, the favorite, odds-on favorite in this field, settles for third. The winner, Dress Rehearsal, is a bay daughter of Galileo from Sassenach by Night Shift, bred in Ireland by Sunderland Holdings and owned by the Swettenham Stud, trained by Bill Mott, and ridden to victory by Kent DeSormo. Dress Rehearsal covers the 1.5 miles on the good Gulfstream turf in 2:29.77. We'll leave Florida. We'll head to Laurel in Maryland, where on Saturday the stakes feature was the 1-mile private terms for 3-year-olds.
And they're off in the private terms. Not for Silver and Classic Wildcat with the first 2 to begin. Aswak and St. John's Gospel racing up on the inside with early speed. Those 4 sorting out. It's 3 lengths back to He Has No Say, and Rock On Justin will have to run from last today. Up the backstretch, and St. John's Gospel and Aswak matching strides, a length and a half, and off the fence is Not for Silver in the 3rd spot. Now Rock On Justin begins a bit of an early bit and is tugging along there in between horses. He Has No Say and Classic Wildcat trailing the field. Very easy pace out there for St. John's Gospel and Aswak in second. Not for Silver going to stay to the outside. He Has No Say riding the rail, and Rock On Justin is 5th. In between horses, just 2.5 from the front, and Classic Wildcat. Into the far turn of the private term stakes, and St. John's Gospel a neck in front from Aswak. In the meantime, Not for Silver tries to move up out there 3 wide, and He Has No Say and Rock On Justin, and Classic Wildcat is the trailer. Moving on to the top of the stretch, and Not for Silver with a 3 wide bid of the front. Not for Silver coming narrowly from St. John's Gospel. He Has No Say, Rock On Justin, Aswak, and Classic Wildcat. Into the stretch, St. John's Gospel's got a little more. St. John's Gospel has a say, as Not for Silver on the outside has to dig and work hard. The outside, Not for Silver and Julian Pimentel from St. John's Gospel with 1 furlong to go. It's Not for Silver, a 16th out ahead in front from St. John's Gospel, who's giving all of the inside. It's Not for Silver in the photo with St. John's Gospel, and I believe St. John's Gospel may have come back. It's a photo finish. Wait for the judges at the mile line.
A little bit of an upset here is St. John's Gospel, coming off a 4th place finish in the Miracle Wood and a 3rd in the Dancing Count. Stretches out for the first time in his career to the 1-turn mile, goes to the front and never looks back, and holds on by a desperate head over the previously undefeated Not for Silver, who is going a route of ground for the first time in his career. He Has No Say rallies into 3rd. The winner, St. John's Gospel, is a bay gelded son of Activist from St. John's Prospect by Prescott. Bred in Pennsylvania by Judith Barrett and owned by Lee R. Christian. Trained by Andrea Gonzalez and ridden to victory by Hector Ramos. St. John's Gospel covers the 1 mile, the private terms, in 137.62. We'll head to the fairgrounds next. Saturday's stakes feature was on the turf for 3 and up fillies and mares in the Fortin.
Under starters' orders in the gate. And they're off in the 410 handicap. So here's Tiziquina. Tiziquina broke through the gate prior to the start, but she's made a handy lead along with Shy Till the Feet. Pretty Squall is coming up, and so too New Edition, who joins the front ranks. You Dancing Devil, Apple Martini, Sharp Bat, Nance Joy trails the field. 7 lengths from joint leaders to last as they make their way into the first turn. Tiziquina and Jamie Theriault. Corey Vannery has Pretty Squall right alongside of Tiziquina as they move through the turn. Shy Till the Feet and Gabriel Saez well up, running in third. New Edition covers Sharpat with the rails. Nance Joy up the near side from New Dancing Devil. Blinkers on Apple Martini, but Apple Martini is dropped back to last. The first quarter covered in 25-1, rail at 22 feet. Tiziquina and the Darley Maroon leading Pretty Squall by a half length. Shy Till the Feet is right there on the hunt, now in the shadow of the half-mile pole. Sharbat fourth. New Edition is 5 lengths off the pace. Nance Joy, Blue Sleeves making progress with those rails. You Dancing Devil and Apple Martini out deep, racing a joint last. Half mile in an even 51 seconds. Tiziquina on the far side of the fairgrounds course, bracketed by Shy Till the Feet and Pretty Squall 3 deep coming toward the quarter pole. New Edition, Sharp Bat, Apple Martini, Nance Joy, and You Dancing Devil. They've turned the corner in the 410 handicap. Tiziquina tackled by Pretty Squall. They've been 1-2. Shy Till the Feet runs hard at the fence. Sharbat now comes off those rails. New Edition looks to be one paced on the outside. White Blaze and Nance Joy. Apple Martini stand side. Tiziquina kept on. Tiziquina leads. Here comes Sharbat with a surging run. Nance Joy on the outside. Tiziquina. Tiziquina held Sharbat. Nance Joy third. Shy Till the Feet. Pretty Squall. New Edition. Apple Martini and You Dancing Devil.
Tiziquina picks up the victory here. She went off as the favorite. I was a little surprised to see that, considering that a number of the fillies who had been so competitive throughout the course of this wintertime down there were in this field. Tiziquina in off an allowance victory. Non-winners of 2 last time out in her turf debut. Heads to the front and never looks back. She wins by a half over Sharbat with Nance Joy back in the 3rd spot. Tiziquina is a dark Bear Brown filly, a daughter of Tisnow from Izaquina by Mr. Prospector. Bred in Kentucky by the Stoner Side Stable and owned by Darley, trained by Michael Stidham and ridden to victory by Jamie Theriault, Tiziquina covers the mile in a 16th on the firm turf course in 147 flat. We'll pause now for a brief message, and when we return, we'll be heading to Turfway Park for a big day of racing on Lanes NJ. Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We'll continue now at Turfway Park, one of the biggest days of the year at Turfway. On Saturday afternoon, kicking things off was 4-year-olds and up fillies and mares in the Queen Stakes.
Natalie Cat there at the post.
And they're off, and just for keeping Natalie Cat both broke sharply on the outside. 2 lengths back, Pretty Squall. 3 lengths back, New Edition. 4 lengths back, Tiziquina. 2 lengths back, Sharp Bat. 4 lengths back, Apple Martini. 3 lengths back, Nance Joy. 4 lengths back, Pretty Squall. 3 lengths back, Tiziquina. 2 lengths back, Sharp Bat. 4 lengths back, Nance Joy. 4 lengths back, Tiziquina. 2 lengths back, Sharp Bat. 4 lengths back, Nance Joy. 4 lengths back, Tiziquina. 2 lengths back, Sharp Bat. 4 lengths back, Nance Joy. 4 lengths back, Tiziquina. 2 lengths back, Sharp Bat. 4 lengths back, Nance Joy. 4 lengths back, Tiziquina. 2 lengths back, Sharp Bat.
And they're off, and Just for Keeps and Natalie Cat both broke sharply on the outside. Victoriana from between horses. Then it's Krista Bella. Down along the inside, JZ Warrior. Center of the track, Mrs. Petoskey. Down the back stretch, and Just for Keeps has the lead. Now by a length over Natalie Cat in second. Mrs. Petoskey runs third. JZ Warrior fourth. Victoriana is now fifth. Then up on the outside, Proud Heiress takes sixth, followed by Krista Bella. Length and a half back to Tosca's Kiss. Had a Vision and Most Beautiful Storm Trails. 22 and 2 for the opening quarter, and Just for Keeps has the lead. Mrs. Petoskey moves up and takes second. Then from the inside, that's still Natalie Cat third by a head. Proud Heiress on the outside runs fourth. JZ Warrior fifth. But inside the final furlong, Just for Keeps has the lead. Proud Heiress is gaining. Just for Keeps. Proud Heiress, but Just for Keeps holds on under Julien Leperoux. Proud Heiress second. Then Mrs. Petoskey, maybe Natalie Cat fourth.
Just for Keeps scoring the victory as the favorite on the front end. Attracted generally is fairly kind to off-the-pace runners, but Just for Keeps coming in here off of a couple of nice performances, including winning a 5-furlong turf allowance at Gulfstream back in February, is now 3 for 6 on the synthetic with a record that shows her never off the board on that surface. And here she scores yet again by 3/4 of a length over Proud Heiress with Mrs. Petoskey back in the third spot. The winner, Just for Keeps, is a bay mare, a daughter of Broken Vow from Angel Kate by Mount Livermore, bred in Florida by Westbury Stables and owned by Ken and Sarah Ramsey, trained by Mike Maker and ridden to victory by Julien Leperoux. Just for Keeps covers the 6 furlongs at Turfway in 110.41. We'll head back to Turfway Park, 3-year-old sprinters in the Hansel.
Side Shane's Gold. They're at the post. And they're off. For the lead. From the inside, that's Turf Feast. Music City from between horses. Then on the outside, He Ain't Right. King Puma moves up, followed by Phosphorescent. It's a length back to Shane's Gold. 2 more to Rudy Flyer and the trailer, Kentucky Soldier Boy. 21 and 2 for the opening quarter. The leader, Turf Feast, now by a length. Music City on the outside second. 3 back to King Puma in third. Gaining on the outside, Shane's Gold takes fourth. It's a length and a half to He Ain't Right in fifth. 3 more to Phosphorescent in sixth. Rudy Flyer seventh. A half 44 and 2. Turf Feast with King Puma now gaining ground on the outside. Turf Feast is still there. King Puma is second. Then up in the center of the track, that's Shane's Gold, followed by He Ain't Right. Turf Feast is in front. King Puma on the outside, but Turf Feast leads all the way under Julien Leperoux. 2 in a row for Leperoux. King Puma second. Then from the inside, He Ain't Right third.
Turf Feast scoring the win. This is a horse that most recently was seen winning the Black Gold at the Fairgrounds on their turf course. He's now 2 for 3 on synthetics with a second-place finish as well, and he too goes to the front and was kept to task by Julien Leperoux, who was able to hold him hold the rest at bay by a length. King Puma finishing in the second spot with a nice move down the four-path. He Ain't Right completes the order of the top 3. The winner, Turf Feast, in from the Fairgrounds, is a dark Bayer Brown colt, a son of military from General Corporate Purposes by Bo Genius, bred in Kentucky by Walt David Stable and owned by the breeder. Trained by Bob Holthus and ridden to victory by Julien Leperoux, Turf Feast covers the 6 in 110.10. Next up, it's 3-year-old fillies going a flat mile in the Bourbonnette Oaks.
And they're off in the Bourbonnette Oaks. From the inside, that's Fits Just Right, but on the outside, Instrumentalist. Instrumentalist gets the lead, has it by almost a length. Fits Just Right there in second. Oculuna third ahead, Walloon fourth. Foxy Bailey between horses runs fifth. Then it's Super Pony in sixth. Haunches and Ponches seventh, by ahead, then Hot Cha Cha. Step Out Smartly in a bit tight on the rail. and the trailer Stone Legacy after the quarter in 24 flat. Instrumentalist ahead in front of Fitz Just Right and Foxy Bailey. Oculuna on the outside makes it 4 across the track. Down along the inside, Walloon runs 5th. From between horses, that's Super Pony in 6th, and Haunches and Ponches. Hot Cha-Cha gains ground. Still down along the inside, Step Out Smartly. Stone Legacy trails. They got the half in 47 and 4. It's still Instrumentalist and Fitz Just Right. Those two are together. Oculuna on the outside, 3rd ahead. Center of the track, Hot Cha-Cha is gaining ground. Now Hot Cha-Cha moves into 3rd. Foxy Bailey is 4th. Walloon 5th. Into the stretch, Fitz Just Right and Instrumentalist. Hot Cha-Cha on the outside is gaining. Hot Cha-Cha now moves by and gets the lead from Fitz Just Right. Down along the inside, Instrumentalist and Walloon. It's Hot Cha-Cha who draws away. Hot Cha-Cha wins going away by 6. Look like Fitz Just Right 2nd. Photo for 3rd, Walloon and Instrumentalist.
A little bit of an upset here is Hot Cha-Cha at 9-1. Rallies from off the pace, circling the field. In fact, she ran from almost last into 1st and drew clear by 6 lengths. It was ahead, separating Fitz Just Right from Instrumentalist. In fact, just another nose back to Walloon back in the 3rd spot, as Hot Cha-Cha by that point was long gone. She had won a non-winners of 1 allowance race right here at Turfway Park in her previous start, and obviously liked the racetrack well enough. She moved up into stakes company and handled this group quite nicely. Hot Cha-Cha has a dark bear brown 3-year-old daughter of Cactus Ridge from reduced sentence by Broad Brush. Bred in Kentucky by Nelson McMakin and owned by the breeder, trained by Phil Sims, and ridden to victory by Orlando Mojica. Hot Cha-Cha covers the flat mile in 137.22. Pair of 3-year-old races up next. First, the ungraded $100,000 mile and the 16th Rushaway.
They're at the post. And they're off in the Rushaway. For the lead, Ziegfeld from the outside. That's Sunday's Baby Grand. Up between those two, Fitz a Slew, followed by Summer's Empire. Moving into the first turn. 9th Client now moves through from the rail ahead in front of Fitz a Slew. Up on the outside, Sunday's Baby Grand 3rd. The gap of 3 lengths. Summer's Empire runs 4th, No Inflation 5th. Then from the rail, Ziegfeld is next, followed by Tocket, Rocket, and the trailer, Cliffy's Future. 24 and 1 for the quarter. Sunday's Baby Grand ahead in front. 9th Client 2nd. Fitz a Slew 3rd, a length. On the outside, No Inflation moves a closer 4th. Tocket, Rocket is 5th. Summer's Empire 6th. To make the Cliffy's Future and the trailer, Ziegfeld, the half in 48 and 2. The leader is Sunday's Baby Grand, now by a half length. From the outside, that's Fitz a Slew. No Inflation on the extreme outside. 9th Client down along the rail. Those 4 right together. Gap of 3 to Tocket, Rocket. Then on the outside, Cliffy's Future. Well bunched now into the turn. From between horses, still Fitz a Slew. Center of the track, No Inflation. Cliffy's Future up on the outside. No Inflation now gets the lead. Cliffy's Future and Ziegfeld are both gaining ground, and Cliffy's Future is in front. Ziegfeld takes 2nd, but it's going to be Cliffy's Future with Jesus Castanon. Wins the Rushaway, 2.5 photo per second. Ziegfeld and Tocket Rocket.
Cliffy's Future scoring the victory here, 7-1. Nice effort by this guy who was 8th in the Sam F. Davis last time out. Interesting in that a couple of horses coming out of poor races in the Davis have gone on to run well, and the ones that ran well in the Sam Davis, most of them came back to run disappointingly in the Tampa Bay Derby. So we'll have to follow what happens to some of those horses. That does seem to be kind of a quirky racetrack. Some horses love it, some horses don't. Cliffy's Future's prior race had been a solid 2nd in allowance company in New York on the Aqueduct Inner. Here he heads into go back onto synthetics and handles it nicely, winning by a length or 2.5 lengths over Ziegfeld. Pocket Rocket, the big long shot at 26-1, completes the top three. The winner, Cliffy's Future, is a dark Bear Brown son of the Cliff's Edge from Future Act by Known Fact. Bred in Kentucky by Bruce Huntley and owned by Silverton Hill Farm Limited, trained by Darren Miller and ridden to victory by Jesus Castanon. Cliffy's Future covers the mile in the 16th and 144.38. Next up, the biggest race of the winter and spring meeting at Turfway Park, the Grade 2 Lanes End for 3-year-olds at 9 furlongs.
Ready to go here. And they're off in the Lanes End. From between horses, that's Orthodox, who moves out for the lead with Parade Clown on the inside. Then up from the center of the track, Proceed Bee is gaining, followed between horses by Flying Private. Westside Bernie a bit closer than Jack Spratt. Up on the outside, Dynamite Bob as they move into the turn. It is Orthodox who sets the pace. Orthodox draws off under Jesus Castanon, opens the lead out to 2.5. Proceed B is second. Down along the rail, Parade Clown runs third. Then from the outside, Flying Private fourth. It's a length back. Moving up from between horses, Jack Spratt fifth by ahead. Dynamite Bob sixth. Westside Bernie right there in seventh. Then from the outside, that's Bruce and Autumn. Down along the rail, Biddle Road is right there with AP Cardinal. Length and a half, Hold Me Back. Lock Do is the trailer after a half in 47 and 4. And it's Orthodox still on an uncontested lead. Has it 2 lengths. Here comes Parade Clown, who gains ground from the rail. Parade Clown now moves into second by a head. Then still on the outside, that's gaining ground. That's Proceed B. Proceed B from the outside now moves by and gets the lead from Parade Clown. Down along the inside, second. Then up from the center of the track, gaining ground. Here comes Hold Me Back. From between horses, Flying Private. It's Hold Me Back with Flying Private, but Hold Me Back under Kenta Sormo. An impressive 3-year-old debut. Hold Me Back for Bill Mott, ridden by Kenta Sormo. Wins the Lanes End going away. Flying Private, long shot in second, and Proceed B was third, but a very impressive 3-year-old debut for Hold Me Back. He wins the Lanes End in 149 and 3.
Hold Me Back in a big upset here, as the top 3 finishers were all fairly big prices. The winner at 9-1 was Hold Me Back. You may remember this guy. He began his career on synthetic with 2 good races. He ran in New York once. That was a 14-length loss in the Renton. That was his last start. He has not seen racing action since that time, but he returns with a huge off-the-pace rallying move from almost last into first to score the victory here, going away by a length and 3/4 over Flying Private. He was coming out of a second-place finish in the sprint, the Mountain Valley at Oaklawn, but he's beautifully bred to go long, so he did figure in this spot based on that pedigree. Proceed B, who had won the prep race for this, the Battaglia, completes the order of the top 3 at almost 18-1. Quite disappointing in here, the 2 favorites. Westside Bernie, who I thought had a very strong shot, made a bit of a middle move inside, but flattened out to finish 6th. Bittell Road, who was in from the West Coast, where he had run 4th in the Cash Call Futurity behind the likes of Pioneer of the Nile and I Want Revenge, and a couple of other good horses in California last fall. Very disappointing once again. Bittell Road goes on to the synthetic at Turfway without showing much. He did make a bit of a wide move, but he finished 9th after being well back in the early portion of the race as well. So kind of disappointing from those two horses, but Hold Me Back, kind of an interesting one. We'll have to see what they decide to do with him. He now has $282,000 worth of graded stakes earnings, making him pretty much likely to have a berth in the Kentucky Derby if he should want it. We'll have to see if they decide to go with one more race just to prep him up, because he was making his 3-year-old debut in this spot. The winner, Hold Me Back, who does have some pedigree to handle the Kentucky Derby distance, is a dark Bear Brown son of Giant's Causeway from Restraint by Unbridled Song. Bred in Kentucky by the Ara Santa Maria de Araras and Windstar Farm, owned by Windstar and trained by Bill Mott, ridden to victory by Kent Sormo. Hold Me Back covers the mile and a furlong of the Lanes End at Turfway in 149.63. We'll pause now for one more brief message. When we return, we'll have more great stakes racing action from out of town and heading back into New York. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We'll continue now at Oaklawn Park, where on Saturday they ran the Hot Springs for older sprinters.
And they're off in the Hot Springs Stakes, and Silver Edition broke very sharply, as did Semaphore Man, and between horses at Normandy Shore. Silver Edition is 3 lengths back, followed along the inside by Gold Coyote and Red Hot and Gold. They move down the backstretch. Secret Intelligence, Semaphore Man, and between those two, Normandy Shore. Those three are in a ding-dong battle on the front end. It's about 6 lengths back then to Gold Coyote and Silver Edition, the trailer Red Hot and Gold. The opening quarter is blistering, 21-3. They're on the turn, and it is Secret Intelligence, and Semaphore Man now heads apart. Dropping out of that one is Normandy Shore. Silver Edition moves up in fourth, Gold Coyote at the rail. And here they come into the stretch of the Hot Springs Stakes. Semaphore Man, Secret Intelligence right together. Silver Edition is running third, Gold Coyote fourth as they turn for home. Semaphore Man and Secret Intelligence right together past the 3/16. Silver Edition is third and gaining with a furlong to go. It is Semaphore Man at the rail. Secret Intelligence alongside. On the outside is Silver Edition, and here comes Red Hot and Gold with a late charge. They drive toward the wire. Here's Red Hot and Gold to the outside of Silver Edition. Red Hot and Gold, Silver Edition at the wire. It is going to be close between Red Hot and Gold and Silver Edition. Secret Intelligence looked like he finished third.
And on the wire, it's Two Noses, Red Hot and Gold and Silver Edition, both of them rallying nicely from off the pace and putting on a pretty nice show here. Their noses were inseparable on the wire. They run a dead heat here with Secret Intelligence back in the third spot. The winner, Red Hot and Gold, a little bit of a price in here at 9.5 to 1, kind of diluting the win price for people who had backed him. Silver Edition was the second choice in the wagering here, just over 5 to 2. In fact, the favorite in the field, Semaphore Man, a little bit disappointing after vying for the early pace. He does settle for fourth in the field. Co-winner Red Hot and Gold is a son of Gold Case from Rachel by Bird on the Wire, bred in Iowa by the RPM Thoroughbred Farm and owned by the breeder, trained by Kelly Von Hemmel and ridden to victory by Eusebio Razzo. Silver Edition, who was up the track last time out going a route in the Razorback, dropped back to a sprint where he had been successful already at this meeting. A 4-year-old son of Silver Deputy from Sincerely by Meadow Lake was bred in Kentucky by Larry Johnson, owned by Thomas Van Meter and Philip Maloof, trained by D. Wayne Lucas and ridden to victory by Terry Thompson. Silver Edition and Red Hot and Gold cover the 6 in 109.58. We'll head back to Arkansas now. Oaklawn Sunday Stakes feature the Prima Donna. This one for fillies, 3-year-old, sprinting 6.
They're in the gate. And they're off in the Prima Donna. A sharp break from She's Our Annie, and on the menu, Mrs. Cindy Walker Next Inauspicious is at the back of the pack as they run down the back stretch. With She's Our Annie and John Court leading it just over a length. To the outside on the menu is second. Auspicious moves up alongside of Mrs. Cindy's Walking, and they scream down the backstretch. In the Prima Donna, She's Our Annie has the lead. On the menu, second. Auspicious out in the middle is third. 22 and 2 opening quarter, and She's Our Annie leads the way. On the menu is second. Auspicious and Mrs. Cindy's Walking are side by side, third and fourth. Midway on the turn, She's Our Annie continues to lead it. On the menu, still second. Along the inside, Mrs. Cindy's Walking. Auspicious is backing out of it now. And here they come into the stretch of the Prima Donna. She's Our Annie continues to lead the way. On the menu is second. Auspicious is going to try him again. Mrs. Cindy's Walking is now in fourth. They drive through the lane, and She's Our Annie has opened it up to two. On the menu is second. Auspicious is third. They're coming for the wire. The leader is still She's Our Annie, and it is She's Our Annie who is going to get the Prima Donna. She wins it by 2.5 lengths. On the menu, second, and well back, Auspicious finishes third. 6 furlongs, 1 minute, 9 seconds.
She's Our Annie scoring the victory here on the front end. A very nice effort. 2.5 lengths the better of On the Menu, with Auspicious, the favorite in the field of only 4. Odds-on favorite, in fact, settling for the third spot. The winner, She's Our Annie, now 3 for 4 lifetime. She won an allowance race here by 6 in late February. Here going right back to the front and scoring once again. She's Our Annie is a daughter of Medaglia d'Oro from Girl Gone Crazy by Roar. Bred in Florida by Destiny Oaks and owned by the breeder. Trained by William Fires and ridden to victory by John Court. She's Our Annie covers the 6 furlongs in 109.03. We'll head to the West Coast now. We'll start in Northern California. Golden Gate Fields on Saturday afternoon, holding the Golden Gate Fields Sprint Handicap.
Ready, racing. Mutak Gold off well, headed quickly by Red Arrow. A cat named Sniper's going fast. It's a cat named Snipe and Red Arrow matching each other's motors onto the main track. They race 4 or 5 lengths clear from Big Bad Leroy Brown and Mutak Gold. 2 lengths to Siren Lure trailing. Red Arrow, the inside, ahead in front of a cat named Snipe. 6 lengths to Mutak Gold, half a length Big Bad Leroy Brown on the fence, and Siren Lure is last of all. He's about 12 off the leader, which is Red Arrow, moving a length in front at the halfway stage from a cat named Snipe. A cat named Snipe trying to rev up again on the outside of Red Arrow. About 6 lengths away to Mutak Gold. 1 to Siren Lure striding past Big Bad Leroy Brown. Turning for home, and Red Arrow, the leader, now 2 lengths to the good of a cat named Snipe. 3 lengths to Big Bad Leroy Brown, who is entering the argument with gusto, and so is Siren Lure. Siren Lure, finishing with great resolve on the outside, has swamped them, and at the 16th pole, this popular Californian Siren Lure is running away to win by a length and a half. Big Bad Leroy Brown ran second, Mutak Gold third. The dueling early leaders are off the board.
Siren Lure, who is 3 for 3 now at Golden Gate at this meeting, shipped up from Southern California, seems to have found the competition here at the age of 8, maybe he's lost a little bit, and the competition here seems to suit him a little bit better. He has picked up 3 in a row, though, and now has won 15 of 35 lifetime starts. He scores over Big Bad Leroy Brown with Mutak Gold back in third. The winner, Siren Lure, is a bay gelding, an 8-year-old son of Joyeux d'Ansur from Cantamar by Gulch, bred in Kentucky by Desperado Stable, owned by Stuart Kesselman, Tony and Marilyn Melkonian, trained by Steve Sherman and ridden to victory by Frank Alvarado. Siren Lure covers the 6 in 109.76. We will head down to Southern California now for a pair of stakes races over the weekend, starting with Saturday's stakes feature, the 1.5 mile San Luis Rey on turf.
Wheels sent on their 1.5 mile journey in the San Luis Rey. Artiste Royal missed it 3 or 4 lengths. Quickest in his stride is Midships, who's going to go away to lead them. In the second spot is Bonjour. Down at the rail comes Medici Code, and Springhouse is quite content to sit there a joint third, 4 lengths further back to Artiste Royal. Down the hill they come, and it's Midships gone out to set the early pace out here. Just nice and relaxed. Rider just got him on a tight hold. He leads it by 2 lengths, not in any hurry whatsoever. Bonjour is racing along in the second spot, and Springhouse is in third. Medici Code has taken a nice hold in the 4th spot. Those two now moving to the center of the track, and still the early trailer is Artiste Royal. Into the stretch they come, first lap round in the San Luis Rey. And midships nice and controlled out here, just sitting in slow pace out on the lead. Has it by half now to Bonjour in second, Springhouse third. Medici Code is still sitting back in the fourth spot. And Artiste Royal made no effort at all to make up this ground at the back. He's still about 8 lengths off the leader. They go into the far turn, and certainly midships couldn't be wishing for an easier trip out here, just pricking his ears back and forth. He's loping along under Victor Espinosa. Midships in front by just under 2. Bonjour is tracking in the second spot, and still Springhouse in third. Medici Code is going to move to the outside now in the fourth spot. He's giving them 4-length start and 3 lengths further back to Artiste Royal. They've covered half the journey now, still no change in the order as Midships takes them down the backstretch in front of length to Bonjour. Springhouse is pretty keen to go on though, and Springhouse is now tugging away at Alex Solis. He's keen to move after that leader in third. Medici Code is still 4 lengths off the leader, and Artiste Royal yet to make up this ground is still last. Half mile to go in the San Luis now, and Midships now kicks on for home as he quickens the pace into the turn. Midships just over length to Bonjour. Springhouse still right there in third. Then it's Medici Code, and Artiste Royal being sent along, has 6 to make up. They come into the top of the lane. It's a sprint for home now. Midships finding more on the inside, and Midships going to be tough. Bonjour second. Springhouse has got to quicken. He's back in third. Medici Code putting in a run in the white cap down at the rail, and then Artiste Royal running on last. Springhouse something wrong. Springhouse being eased out of it. They come for home, and Midships finds more on the lead. Medici Code, Artiste Royal running on late, but Midships still being handwritten by Victor Espinosa out here. The more they asked, the more he gave, and Midships a good winner of the San Luis Rey under Victor Espinosa. Medici Code was second, Artiste Royal third, then Bonjour, and Springhouse was last.
Midships scoring the victory. Kind of an interesting 4-year-old. Came to the United States for the Hollywood Derby last year. Ran well to finish third behind Court Vision. Was given a little bit of freshening time. Came back and ran fourth in an optional claiming event. Maybe one of those Euro bounce situations. But here he gets to the front and gallops along. Wins off by a length and 3/4 under Victor Espinosa over Medici Code and the favorite Artiste Royal. The winner, Midships, is a gray-roan son of Mizzen Mast from Interim by Sadler's Wells, bred in Kentucky by the Juddmonte Farm and owned by the breeder. Trained by Bobby Frankel, ridden to victory by Victor Espinosa, Midships covers the 1.5 miles on the turf at Santa Anita in 2:25.63. Stakes feature on Sunday afternoon at Santa Anita. Also on the turf, this time fillies and mares going 9 furlongs in the Santa Ana.
All set now for the Santa Ana, and away they go. Off awkwardly here was Bel Air Sizzle, swerved to the left there and has stone last early on. Quickest in his stride is In My Glory, going to be joined now by Belmont Cat, who's pretty keen to go on. Tucked in right behind them is Sharp Susan. Exquisite is right between horses. Satan Circus on the outside. Here's Visit, taken back second last. She's taken a strong hold, though. Only 4.5, 5 off the leader, and Bel Air Sizzle is last. Into the turn they go, and In My Glory on the inside of Exquisite. They're setting a decent pace. Exquisite going pretty wide into this turn. Just in behind those two comes Belmont Cat in the third position, and they followed in by Sharp Susan, who's now only 2.5 off that leader as they slow down a little. Visit is still pulling hard against the rider now down at the rail. He's only 4 lengths off these leaders. Up alongside Satan Circus, and Bel Air Sizzle has now managed to get a little closer, gives them 6-length start. Down the backstretch they go in the Santa Ana, and it's still In My Glory showing the way. Exquisite on the outside, and Belmont Cat a close-up third. Sharp Susan has always been right in contention fourth. Visit still pulling hard against the rider in fifth. 4 lengths off the leaders. On the outside is Satan Circus. Bel Air Sizzle is now 8 off the lead. They run past the 3/8 pole, and In My Glory still in front. Exquisite second. Now Sharp Susan is making a move, and Sharp Susan comes to tackle the leader. Belmont Cat going nicely at the rail. Satan Circus. Visit now. Visit only 3 lengths off them. Even Bel Air Sizzle moving in. Homeward bound in the Santa Ana. It's wide open. In My Glory is now tackled by Belmont Cat. Satan Circus. Bel Air Sizzle and even Visit getting involved late. Still wide open. It's Satan Circus getting the lead down the center. Bel Air Sizzle coming flying on the inside. Belmont Cat. Visit in there too. Belmont Cat. Oh, close. Belmont Cat. Bel Air Sizzle. Visit was right there third, and Satan Circus a close fourth.
New Zealand-bred Belmont Cat picks up the victory here. She was beaten only about 2.5 lengths, finishing 5th in the San Gorgonio last time out off of an allowance victory at Hollywood in early December. A very nice effort by Belmont Cat to pick up a $9 or a $20 mutual victory by a head over Bel Air Sizzle, with Visit back in the 3rd spot as the favorite at odds on. Belmont Cat is a New Zealand-bred chestnut mare, a daughter of Felix the Cat from Morgan Glory by Justice Prevails. Bred in New Zealand by Mrs. B. and J.E. Thompson, owned by the Double Down Stable and trained by John Sadler. Ridden to victory by Joel Rosario. Belmont Cat covers the 9 in 148.68. We'll head back home to New York now for the Grade 2 Distaff Handicap at Aqueduct. Fillies and Mares sprinting 6.
They're in the gate. And they're off. Awesome Ashley, Distorted Passion, Zeta Bell at the rail, and on the outside, Secret Gypsy and Royale Michelle. Zeta Bell's got the lead. The lead by a head over Secret Gypsy. Royale Michelle on the outside is 3rd. Distorted Passion in behind horses, racing in 4th. Awesome Ashley, now the trailer in 5th. The quarter went in 22 and 2, and pulling up there was number 1, Zeta Bell. She's out of the race. Midway on the turn, it is Secret Gypsy in front by almost a length. Royale Michelle runs in 2nd. Distorted Passion and Awesome Ashley. They're at the top of the stretch. The half mile in 45 seconds. Secret Gypsy leads by 2. Royale Michelle in 2nd. Distorted Passion down towards the rail, and Awesome Ashley. Secret Gypsy with the lead as they come for the 16th pole. Secret Gypsy by 2 lengths, then Distorted Passion and Royale Michelle, and it's Secret Gypsy to win the distaff. Close for 2nd, Distorted Passion or Royale Michelle.
Secret Gypsy in from the fairgrounds to score here. She has won 3 in a row and 5 of her last 6, with a 2nd place finish in the Grade 2 Raven Run in there in the middle. Last out, she won the Esplanade, and we have now had shippers from the fairgrounds pick up the graded stakes in New York consecutive Saturday afternoons as Secret Gypsy goes to the front and picks up the win over Distorted Passion. Royale Michelle finishing in the 3rd spot. These fillies pretty much ran in that order around the racetrack. The race unfortunately marred by the breakdown of Zeta Bell, who did break down while vying for the lead inside as she reached approximately the half-mile pole. She was pulled up and vanned off, and as of the time we are recording the program, I do not have an update on Zeta Bell's eventual condition, but we'll try and find that information out for you. The winner, Secret Gypsy, a very impressive performance, and certainly looks like one to keep your eye on in the filly division, as now she has picked up a win over a couple of very nice horses, including graded stakes winner Royale Michelle. Secret Gypsy is a chestnut daughter of Sea of Secrets from Miss Utada by Rocky. Bred in Kentucky by Norman Cheng, owned by the Richland Hill Stable and John Kuhl. Trained by Ronnie Werner and ridden to victory by Robbie Alvarado, Secret Gypsy covers the 6 in 110.01. That'll wrap up a busy edition of Horses and Courses. Thank you very much for joining us. We hope you'll be able to join us again next week as we take a look at stakes racing action from around the country. Until then, I'm Jean Wood. Have a great week at the races.